pictures of building.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the June 11th, 2026 Rockingham County Board of Commissioners meeting. I call the meeting to order and please ask everyone to rise to the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a full house today. It's wonderful, including all three commissioners, Commissioner Tombrello, Commissioner Godu, and myself.
I'm here today too.
Yes, the High Sheriff is also here. So we'll begin with the consent agenda, and first we have some meeting minutes to approve for June 4th, 2026.
All right. And you want to do the motion to approve June 4, 2026 public and non-public minutes? I'll make that by motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Looks good.
Hearing, okay, thank you. Commissioner Tombrello?
Yes.
Commissioner Godu?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next, we have some surplus equipment request to pursuant to New Hampshire RSA 28A and for long-term care services.
I'll make a motion to approve a surplus equipment request pursuant to New Hampshire RSA 28:8-8A and declare a Baxter convection oven OV300G from long-term care services surplus with the item to be disposed properly of.
Second.
Any discussion? These are just the equipment's broken or has been worn or too much, so.
We've been working on cleaning up the list.
Yeah. On the motion, Commissioner Godu?
Yes.
Commissioner Tombrello?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Second motion to approve a surplus equipment request pursuant to New Hampshire RSA 28:8-A and declare a 5 Holt Power Lift recliners from long-term care services with items to be disposed of properly.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Commissioner Tombrello?
Yes.
Commissioner Godu?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next, we have the June 11th accounts payable list.
I'll make a motion to approve the July 11, 2026 accounts payable list totaling $2,762,802.82.
Second.
Discussion?
Chuck will probably tell us why.
I can talk about the three big ones. We have the state bill for 1.6. We have the first payment for the capital lease for the IT equipment, and then nursing. And so those three in of itself account for like 2.2 million of the overall AP run. So plus miscellaneous. Anything more?
You covered the big
The
items.
big three. Any further discussion?
Nope.
Commissioner Godu?
Yes.
Commissioner Tombrello?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Thank
you. Flying through, now moving right into commissioners' reports, gentlemen.
All right, I'll start out. Okay, so from the meeting that we went to, I learned a couple things about AI. First of all, that we have an AI policy, which I did find. But my question is, has this AI policy been vetted with Primex?
Yes.
Because it has been. Okay,
Before it
excellent.
went to the board, it went to Primex. To
Okay,
their cyber team.
okay, excellent. So have we distributed this with everybody that might be using AI?
I think it's in the process of being disseminated now, since you just approved it, I think, in the last month or so.
Okay.
Training is ongoing.
That's important that all of our employees are aware of that. And what really struck me that I thought was interesting that I learned from one of the Primex lawyers was that all the input and output is 91A discoverable for all of our employees. So if you input, and apparently Robin has the ability to, with our account, to look up what activity has occurred. So if you input something and ask a question, a dumb question would be worse, but people just ask it all kinds of questions, like how to build a bomb. Somebody might ask that just to see what, somebody who's a little crazy might be looking up or what they might find. And then it could potentially appear like that employee was looking to, build something nefarious. Now, I don't, that's just an example, but all I'm getting at is that all of that is discoverable with 91A. And our employees need to know that not only the answers, but the questions that they ask could potentially be subpoenaed.
And so if I could just
Sure,
dovetail, because
sure.
I also listen to this. What you're specifically talking about is prompts, right? And so a prompt could be a question, but it also could be edit this document or write a letter about something, write a letter, a termination letter for an employee. And so if we're taking right from there and using that, then that is all, we would, under a 91A request, have to turn over that prompt. So I think your point is well taken, which is, this is why we go to the Primex conference, because you learn all sorts of very important information that maybe we're not thinking about, but that it's a word of caution to be mindful about what you're prompting with if you're using AI, and also just generally, I think it's not limited to, it raises interesting questions about what other, if you're, Allison.
I think we're disabled from it now, correct?
Co-pilot is to say.
However, Copilot, yes, but if you do go on to Chat GPT and in, from the 91A request, understanding 91A, the session we went to, if you're at home doing work-related things and you prompt it, but then it's still subject to disclosure under 91A.
One of the IT team was at the conference as well, and I know that he and Robin have been discussing it, and I'll bring this up to her after the meeting. She usually watches it.
One of the examples that he brought up was an HR director that punched in an action and asked the AI, was this discriminatory? And the lawyer said that upon discovery, he might be able to argue that HR person was incompetent because they didn't even know what discrimination was. Now, that could be argued in the valid. It's just an example of the type of thing that could happen. So we all need to be careful about what's going in, and that we're not doing silly things just for fun, because I know you can have a lot of fun with AI. Okay, so that's the first thing.
I had to do a class already.
Remedial
Like, why am I
education.
blocked out?
Is that why you keep on going over to the jail once a week?
I already had but I went 3 for 3 on the quiz, so they didn't fool me. But,
I would like to change the date of inviting those folks in for the rural grant time, because the date that we thought we were gonna have it, Chuck is gonna be on vacation. So I'm thinking the 9th, the 16th, or the 23rd, one of those dates in July. Is that any of those? We don't have a meeting on the 9th, so that'd be a bad date. So the 16th or the 23rd, because I'm trying to coordinate with the 3 different agencies
So
that are
while we're all
involved.
here, let's lock this in. How about July 16th? Is that great?
Okay, I'll shoot for that.
Okay.
That's all I have for reports. Thank you.
Commissioner Tomlin?
Trying to chop that. I did a couple hours over at the jail today with the major. A little intense during the lockdown because they found some shanks, so the crowd was a little upset. We did a real good walkthrough, met a lot of the officers. I was kind of amazed. I found an 11-year employee, so I couldn't find any new guys, so that's good. And the morale was good, except for the guys that were behind the doors. They weren't too happy, but a lot of moving parts in the jail, a lot going on. I saw Jude's folks are over there welding little pieces on the bed, and I got explained as to how that's to prevent possible suicides and stuff. So I learned a lot about it, so very good. The major one, we're pretty lucky. I mean, you guys know I respect John, but the major today, I think we're in good shape across the street. I'm real proud to go over there. I also met with Jude and Allison, regarding ARC taking over some of that position where, pretrial, or drug diversion went out back. So looking at that and seeing what's gonna happen, how much work, and I think they'll talk about it, but there's money in the budget to kind of fix it up and make it look half decent, and it makes a lot of sense to do it, so. That's all I have. I'm not gonna talk about Patrick, she just came in. You know, I'll have to
Better late
save,
than never.
I'll have to save that till
Exactly.
later. No, I'm only-
She's at the mercy of the court. Judge, I have to get out. I have to go to a county commissioner meeting. Does not typically fly for any of us. Busy in our end too, just working on some, working through some issues with long-term care. I've also, I mean, I can talk a little bit in terms of the jail. I know it's extraordinarily busy. The population has just gone up, and now that we're in the summer, the population has increased quite a bit. Putting on my other hat, I know that there was like a big arrest yesterday, and it was great collaboration between the sheriff's department and Plastow PD and Lawrence PAD and US Marshals. And so there was a lot of effort and collaboration, and the sheriff's department, by all accounts, did a wonderful job with that. And so that pretty much summarizes my report for now. The conference was excellent. Really, I am always amazed at how much, I mean, I go to like 91A classes every year, because there are always updates and new things that, studying new provisions of the statute, even if you have read it, always good to sit in. And the AI session was particularly interesting and important, just because it's so relevant right now. And
Did they mention if they're gonna be offering that online, or if they offer that presentation online? Because I'm definitely very curious. I'd love to view the AI 91A portion.
I think probably, I mean, there was a lot of talk, there was talk of it in the AI session, but also in 91A. But I would just check into the municipal association about
Okay.
their specifically, because they often publish their trainings through the.
Yeah, I know a lot of times when they teach a class, they'll say, hey, this will be
Yeah.
published so you can view it. So I wasn't sure if they had mentioned that.
They didn't mention it specifically, but my recommendation is to proceed that way. All right, with that, we'll move on to the finance office. We have a few motions that were withdrawn, so we'll move right to the TD Equipment Finance Incorporated Capital Lease Proposal.
I make a motion to approve the TD Equipment Finance Inc. Capital Lease Proposal and authorize the chair to sign all necessary documents as recommended by the Senior Director of Finance.
Second,
Discussion? We got a good interest rate, 4.19.
Yeah, it was actually different, 4.22 2 days ago, so it actually dropped yesterday
Wow,
by 3 basis points, so it's.
that's unusual. Doesn't usually happen that way.
Yes, and that's why TD will only like confirm or quote out only for like 24 or 36 hours in this environment. They will not hold open a quote for even like 2-3 full days.
And this is for IT equipment.
Yeah, one last piece.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any other discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, Commissioner Tombrello,
Yes.
Commissioner Godu?
yes.
And I vote yes.
Thank you.
Can move on to human resources. We have the cash out of accrued earned time and holiday pay approval.
I think I'd like to ask if we could table this non-public. I just have a couple of items. I don't think it's gonna drift me to get where I don't wanna be, but that's the letter that we received.
No, this is just the cash out of, like, so for those with seniority,
Oh.
about how much we're paying out. It just has to do with keeping the books as clean as possible for budgeting purposes.
Then
It's
I'm
not-
not gonna table that.
It's not individual, it is not
I'm gonna
individual
table it,
specific,
Right? But the other one, now I guess you
Yeah.
can foresee the future now.
but it's, it's a separate and distinct issue, but this is not individual specific.
I'll make a motion to approve a fiscal 2027 cash out of accrued Earned time and holiday time is outlined in the memorandum dated June 5th, 2026, as recommended by the Senior Director of Human Resources and the Senior Director of Finance.
Second.
Discussion? So what this allows is for cashing out of up to 2 weeks, and then employees with 30 years of service, to cash out to 4 weeks. And I think it generally, as I understand it, helps for us from a budgeting standpoint, so, to keep us like.
Yeah, long-term perspective.
From a long-term perspective, we're not carrying a lot of load of like unpaid earned time.
Until later on, they have to pay it out.
Great. Any further discussion on the motion, Commissioner Godu?
Yes.
Commissioner Tombrello?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next, we have the fiscal year 2027 per diem wage schedule.
I'll make a motion to amend the fiscal year 2027 per diem wage scale effective June 28, 2026, as recommended by the Senior Director of Human Resources.
Second.
Discussion?
It seemed that the wages are up a couple of dollars an hour, and is that just to balance out the wages that we've given to
Yeah,
the rest
some
of
of them hadn't
employees?
been balanced since what, 2022, a couple of them.
2023 was the dispatchers.
Dispatchers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the nurse manager, they are an LPN are new to the list, and building and grounds based on the CDA, they only have one person in that. They kind of use it, but we kind of moved that up too. So yeah, we tried to, this time we're ahead of it. We're usually behind a couple months, but we tried to get it in as soon as we could this time. I talked to all of the department heads on those that were impacted to make sure money was in their line. It wasn't gonna impact anything if we made the movement on that, check with Chuck, everything was good.
Okay, good.
My only question is really not tied to the rates, but more of, are we looking at personnel who are using, that are per diem, but we're like really are more reflecting full-time, but are on the per diem schedule? I think it's something.
We're trying to stay under the 29-hour threshold, because if we go over that, we have to offer benefits. So we are trying to stay under that threshold, and
Monthly look back on that.
we have to do a monthly look back on that, but there are one or two maybe out there that are used pretty regularly, especially assisted living, because they don't have a big pool of per diems. It's been really hard to get them some per diems. They're the ones that are struggling most. And then the per diems for the long-term care are part of the CBA, so they're part of housed in the CBA, so we can't work around that.
Just thinking about it in
Yes,
terms of how we're looking at these individuals. Okay. On the motion, Commissioner Tombrello?
Yes.
Commissioner Godu?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next, there's a general leave request in long-term care services.
Make a motion to approve a general leave request for long-term care services employee MS with county portion of all benefits extending for the period of May 28, 2026 through June 19, 2026, recommended by the Senior Director of Long-Term Care Services and the Senior Director of Human Resources.
Second.
Discussion? Do
We have it only going to 619
Yeah.
because we're waiting for some stuff, and Chantel and I are gonna gather that and make some further recommendations. Thank you.
on the motion, Commissioner Godu?
Yes.
Commissioner Tombrello?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next, we have the former adult divergent space in the Carlisle building, a discussion of use of space. Allison, do you want to take this
Yeah,
up?
so about a year and a half ago, I knew when the building was being built, I kind of posed the question to the former superintendent about space needs. Our current occupational health spot is extremely small. There's no waiting room. It does require applicants from all over the county to come into the nursing home building. They need space. When you open the door, the exam table is right there, so there's no way to have privacy if people are knocking on the door and she has to open the door. So they've moved out. I went over to look at the space again, and then I asked our help to come in and look at the space, but I had Jude come over and look at the space first. I talked to the superintendent as well. I asked Chantel if she had a need for it. There's no other needs that I know of in there. It is set up that with the drug screening and other stuff, that blood draws and stuff that we have to do, it's kind of a great space. It just needs care, a little brush up with some paint and stuff like that, and a few odds and ends that we looked at. And I would be able to talk to Chuck financially about it. And Eileen was very good in skimming through stuff on WB Mason, looking for prices, and she's done a really good job on that. And she came up with a list of what the needs would be. And I could get in there around $1,879, $1,900 with some of those, with the paint being supplied by engineering facilities. And then the flooring, that is something that you would talk to.
We maintain a ready stock of, the jail goes through about 75 gallons a year. We maintain stock of paint. It's easy enough. We can certainly supply the paint. Flooring, if you were gonna do anything else with that space anyway, that flooring needs to be replaced. It's pretty awful. There's, breaking down tiles and whatnot. I had somebody come in and look at it. We can carry it in this year's budget, and it will make the space much more usable, whatever your decision is, but certainly we could make it ready for our health.
Could we just vinyl plank over it?
We can, no, it's falling apart.
I wanted
And
to paint it like we did the
Yeah,
upstairs.
wood.
It's
Oh,
plywood.
it's plywood.
It's plywood.
And I asked them to pull back, and it wasn't gonna be feasible with the
So we'll
vinyl.
vinyl plank a couple of the rooms, especially the exam room, if you approve. Blood and stuff like that, it'll be easy enough to wipe, but then there's sort of a larger space that we could do with floor squares, carpet squares, if anything happens, it'd be easy enough to replace.
Sounds great.
If I have permission to do this, I would get all of these items in before the end of this budget. It'll be negative in my office supply line, but Chuck says, he says I have money. I prefer not to have it come out of the health line, because it's more office needs than occupational health needs.
Good part about it too is that Martha, who I consider a great employee from Mark Health, because I've seen her in action.
It's terrific.
She's a wonderful person, and she's thrilled to be going there, because sometimes you take Jane, she's in the middle of the nursing home, and it's kind of deserted over there. Miss being over there. It's the last place I fell asleep in the building, actually, when I was in my office. I can tell you, just a little sleep, half hour. But,
Cat nap, just a cat.
but she's excited to go over, so that's good. It needs a little brightening up. It needs a little,
But-
TLC.
I see the future, I guess.
Well, I think it's the privacy that it offers with the having the more space. It really is. When you go into that room, it's like anyone opens the door, you are, so when we talk about HIPAA compliance and trying our best to support our employees, it seems like a small amount to pay for a significant return.
I think overall, for new employees to have a nice environment to come into too, to start off their employment, their engagement with us, other than that, it sets the tone too. So if I have permission, I would like to, I know it says $1,879.81, but I just want to have like a $2,000 buffer, just the 2,000 in case something is out of stock and she has to get a different variance. I appreciate that.
Great.
What are we gonna do with the old space?
I would love to be able to utilize it if it goes through in the budget. I am trying to figure out where I put the medical director, center.
We talked about it, it'd be perfect space, private bathroom, if they have to do something with somebody, they could have them come down as well.
Sounds like a plan coming together, so that's great.
No. Excellent idea.
Okay. On the motion, Commissioner Tombrello. There's no motion. We are just discussion.
Tried to catch me.
I will
off guard.
pass
I did
Sir,
not
you
follow.
do
I'm like,
not.
wait a minute.
Simon
This is,
says.
I wasn't sleeping this
Sorry,
time,
You're right.
you
That is my oversight. Okay, we can move, so we don't really need a motion. Let's move on to long-term care services. We have a adult medical daycare request for Easter Shield.
I'll make a motion to approve an adult medical day, request dated June 2nd, 2026 to Easter Seals, New Hampshire for an additional client, ML, and an amount of $80 per day for 3 days per week as recommended by the Senior Director of Long-Term Care Services.
Second,
Discussion?
I'm concerned this brings us over budget, but I think that we probably can handle the overage. But we need to look at that. I think that it might be easier for all concerned for us to actually budget so much for Easter seals and,
Except
Silverthorne, so that, I mean, just so that we'll at least have a plan, because these folks keep asking and we're just plugging it in, which is fine, but now Silverthorne needs all that extra money for transportation, and, I'd like to give a little bit more to Silverthorne than Easter Seals, simply because they service more residents. And, I mean, I'm not against approving this, but I'm concerned with how the budget's gonna go for next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think, to me, it feels like we need to scale back on the transportation piece. I mean, I think it's more important to help make sure we can help residents access adult medical day than, I mean, I recognize that transportation is a critical element to accessing it, but, I think hopefully Silverthorne is looking at other options for funding source and grant opportunities. They are, sort of, although I think they're nonprofit, they're
They're not for profit.
the nursing home that they're affiliated with is, they have resources through that nursing home in a way that I think we should be looking at this more in the context of what do our specific residents need for care. So my feeling is, with respect to our current budget, and I think we may, I know that we have a little bit of a difference of opinion. My feeling is we should not go over the budget, and we should just reduce the amount of transportation. But I understand your desire to make the commitment to Silverthorne. I guess we'll see, maybe, when we get our next update from where we are fiscally with adult medical day, then we can figure out, do we either need to pull money to fully fund transportation, pull back on transportation? It's like future us problems.
I think, hopefully next Wednesday we pass our budget. And then when, they're gonna need to know that next year when the money's gone, we're not gonna move money around. At least I'm not gonna support it. They need, they look at it, and years ago, we've given them 10,000, 5,000 here or there. The money is the money once we set that budget. So I think they need to look at, they need to follow as well as we do. See what their requirements and what their requests are for money, because when it's over, it's gonna be over, there'll be no more money.
Well, we specifically did not give them a budget. We decided that we were gonna decide as the request came in, and I'm just suggesting we might want to reconsider that so that we can keep at least an accounting based on, that we want to give this much to Easter Seals, this much to Silverthorne, and they can use it as they, request.
I guess the only thing, if we earmark certain money or allot them certain, and you get what happens if we end up getting a surplus of residents from Silverthorne and they don't have enough money, but there's, a bunch of residents in Rockingham County decide to go to Silverthorne instead of Easter Seals.
Yeah.
And now we've identified or said, this is your pot of money, Easter Seals. Sorry, Silverthorne, we can't.
Well, maybe we just separate it for our internal purposes and not make it like it's a grant that we're giving them X dollars.
Well, I mean, I think when we get the data, we have that information, right? When we get
We
a
do.
report. So I don't think it's like in our best interest in our efforts to help as many residents as possible, to like give them essentially a certain pool of money. But I think there is, I hear what you're saying. It's like we need to get, we maybe need to do a better analysis, and maybe it's like a look back. Like, to me, I'm like, oh, I'd like to see in the last 3 years what, we sort of track it throughout the year, but I haven't really looked at the data for like what's a 3 or 5 year look back about which, we've given this much to Easter Seals typically and this much to Silverthorne or something.
And serves the X amount of
Yes, precisely,
residents,
yeah.
right, to see the relationship.
Yes,
What is the, that's $100,000?
yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we were to separate 50-50, and one of them used a lot of it, I mean, we would probably transfer some out, so I don't know if that's the way to do 50 to Salem and 50 to Manchester, and then Salem runs out of money, we take it out of Manchester. I think we leave the 100,000 alone.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Because
saying.
I would, if it
suggesting
came to
as
a
well.
motion that Salem needs money and Manchester had a bunch of money, I would support moving money, so I would rather just leave it at 100,000.
Well, and yes, that's, and I also don't,
You know what I mean?
I also don't think we want to get into the business of just spending the entire line. Like, we don't want to say, here's your pot of 50 grand or whatever. We want to, if it's not being utilized, it should go back into fund balance too. So again, I mean, I hear what you're trying to say is, I think, as I understand it, Easter seals is more costly than Silverthorne. So you don't want to be in the situation where we're actually helping fewer residents by pushing more money to Easter seals. And we, you know, where we should be using some of that money for transportation, because that in it, you know, tangentially helps.
I think that's,
Silverthorne
I think that's exactly what's been happening. Fewer people and more money from Easter seals, and more people and less money from Silverthorne. They've asked to balance it out with some assistance on the transportation, so I just would like to see that balance.
Data.
The data, and balance it based on the number of residents we're serving.
If I may, so I almost had some of the information I said last time gathered. We just had a few invoices that we were kind of finalizing and working on. I didn't go back 3 to 5 years, however. I'm happy to have what's available because we have a lot of those pieces. The only piece though, it's not as easy to just pull like the person, I don't think. I'm looking at you, Chuck, for help because I'm trying to picture the invoice, but like from 3 or 5 years ago, it's easy to kind of align the amount of people now, but I don't know how I would even go about figuring out how many people were served 4 years ago, 5 years ago in relation, because it's such a fluid thing,
Sure.
right? You have these 5 people, but now 3 aren't here. That I don't know.
We do have all the invoices, all the AP warrants are scanned, so we
I
can
mean-
typically go back to the monthly.
I'm not sure that we should, devote that level of resource and time, because that sounds like a very time consuming. But why don't we start with, if we have easily accessible this year's data, which it sounds like, Chantel, you do,
Yep,
then why don't we start there? Because also, you know, if you go back too far, you start like having the COVID effect, and that's like gonna skew the data anyway, so let's start with what we have easily accessible and not like go down a rabbit hole of time and do agree.
Yes, I agree.
Do agree, okay. That was a tangent, but we can get to the motion. On the motion, Commissioner Tombrilla.
Yes.
Commissioner Godu.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next, we can move on to the Sheriff's Office. We have a bid waiver request for Applied Concepts.
Make a motion to approve Applied Concepts proposal and bid waiver request in the amount of $11,850.50 for equipment to update a current radar unit as recommended by the sheriff.
Second.
Discussion? I just had a question. Is we already have equipment that we purchased through Applied Concepts. Is there like,
This unit can't be repaired. So we have to buy a new one.
oh,
So what's happening is we have a $10,000 line and we're gonna go over our threshold by doing that. So it's gonna go up to, we're looking for 2204, which is gonna bring it up to 11,850.54. And we actually have the money in our budget.
I was just asking about the bid waiver part of it. Why are we going through
It was an unplanned repair, so to replace this one that went down, so the equipment we had already bought that year was under the $10,000 threshold, but because of this unplanned failure, in order to fix it and replace it, that would then take us over the $10,000 threshold, because we've already expended money, but now through a single vendor, this will put us over the $10,000 threshold.
Okay, oh, okay, you're saying it started underneath, which is why.
Correct,
you're-
there was no plans to go over it
Got
until this unit failed.
Okay, thank you. On the motion, Commissioner Godu?
Yes.
Commissioner Tombrilla?
Yes.
And I vote yes. moving right into department head updates. Pat, do you wanna lead us off today?
Sure. We're busy as usual. We had a couple of jury trials this week. We got guilty, on a pretty, serious case. An officer was dragged basically from a car and he was convicted, so that was a really good win. We're handling a misdemeanor appeal violation of protective order this week, jury trial. The jury verdict is still out on that one. Just continue to be really busy. We don't have any trials in July, which is great, but of course they've filled up our calendar with all kinds of hearings, but we don't have to worry about jury trials. We have 2 people out on maternity leave. One soon to be out. She's due any moment, basically. And we're down a couple of attorneys at this point, so it's a little bit hairy right now, but it's good that we don't have jury trials. So we're really busy, but things are moving forward in a positive direction. That's pretty much it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good morning. So, it's busy in my office as well. Tomorrow, NHAC, the association will be here, having their meeting starting at 9:30 in the morning. So that's pretty exciting.
Sorry,
So the Association of Counties,
okay.
The meeting is tomorrow morning, starting at 9:30. So I invite everybody. I mean, there's a lot of people coming from all across the state. So I'm pretty excited about it to show off this building, I wanted to let you know that on June 1st, we didn't have a cleaner in the building. I don't know if Pat is aware of this, but the person called out sick, so nothing was cleaned in our office. And we found this out from the gentleman who works during the day, because he came up during the day on the 1st to just empty our garbage cans. So I just want you to note that, because it's not the first time it's happened. The other thing is, and I know that Major Bashaw might speak about this as well, is about the parking signs. I know there's signs out there. The problem is we continue to have people who, because they come all the way up the driveway and they see the arrow for registry of deeds, they're parking down here, and they're elderly people. And it is so uncomfortable for my staff, because they're upset that they're having to walk all the way, which they don't have to walk, we can go back to their car and drive, but there is too much confusion about the signage here. I'm hoping that we can put a sign down near the first entrance to that parking lot to say visitor parking, so that people park in that front parking lot. I mean, you guys don't deal with the public. I deal with the public every day, and this is an ongoing issue that's really, especially in this hot weather, it is a big issue. It really is a big issue. So I just want to say that. I have, and I'm probably for a future meeting, I think I want to sit down and talk about the bank account, because I've had a situation where the TD Bank charged me money, negative interest that they took out of the bank. I have a lot of money that goes into, as you know, over $5 million a month, but we're putting it as a gesture of goodwill. I'm allowing it to be deposited into the big account, which I really don't have to, okay? What's happening is, on the beginning of this month, over a $5 million deposit was deposited into my account, and my account showed a negative balance. And I have still not received an answer to that, why that would be, because it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. So I don't want to be in another situation where TD Bank thinks they're going to back charge me out of my little account money and not give me the interest that I should be getting on the money that is Registry of Deeds money. So this is something I think it needs to be looked into. It isn't a matter of when the money gets deposited or anything else. My feeling is the Registry of Deeds over the year, we're talking about $70 million that comes into the coffers. And for them to be turning around to charge me money, I just don't think it's right. I don't think it's right. And I think something has to be discussed with TD Bank about it, because they're making a lot of money on all the money that happens in this county. So I'm not pleased about it. So,
Who's the contact for that account? Is it your account? Is it Chuck's account?
I'm talking about the little account that I keep, which is something thing is, the statute is very clear. The Registry of Deeds has the money's the Registry of Deeds until I turn it over to the county, okay? when there were issues years ago with low interest rates, blah, 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 I decided that with, along with Chuck, I want to say maybe Teresa, I'm not even sure if it was with Teresa.
Right.
It may have been. I said, here's what, because she came to me and said, can we start depositing into the big county account? And we'll give you, you'll get your interest, but we'll do it that way so the county is making money, a lot more money. And I have no issue with that. But I have an issue when all of a sudden I get a negative $1,300 thing from TD Bank telling me I have to pay them $1,300 out of my account.
So what was their reasoning for
Because-
charging you?
Because the float in my account is not enough money over the month.
So like we agreed with, supposedly, we would have agreed to have a minimum balance in that account and you didn't meet the minimum balance?
But this is the first time it happens, and it's ever happened to me, ever.
It's the average balance piece. So that's why I
So
think
you
on
have
the
to
monthly,
maintain
we're
an
gonna transfer the monies sooner. I believe that's what
That's what
we're
we,
going
yeah,
to plan, because that way the average balance would be better overall for the month.
Because your monthly average balance fell below a certain threshold.
Yeah.
They
Right.
took they withdrew the interest that you, so,
Right.
okay.
But we
Yeah,
I
can
was
talk to
trying to understand
TD,
the
yeah,
crux of the issue.
we can
Yeah.
talk to the TD about, average balance, requirements in that account.
yeah, because to me,
Right.
it should never
What is
happen.
I guess that's maybe that we could talk, you're saying, talk to them about reducing what the amount has to be, your
Lower-
monthly,
lower,
reduce the required monthly balance.
Right.
Especially on
So
that
if we're putting-
account.
Right, on that account, in light of the fact that what you're doing is pouring the money into a different TD account.
Right,
So I think that's the solution to the problem, because if you reduce the threshold, then you're not gonna run into
Lower.
this again. Yeah,
right, yeah, because I don't want this to happen again, because that's, obviously, that's going back to them. It's like,
Right.
why am I paying you when I
It's
know
all
how much
your-
money I'm putting into your bank?
right, and it's all
It's county
all part
money.
of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's like probably something that could be, it feels like something that could be
Chuck, is
settled
that-
with a,
It should, we're a big enough customer, it should
Right.
really be worked out. Now, one thing that's interesting is that, TD recently restructured their account reps.
Right,
And so,
Okay.
yeah, so that'll
There's
make things a little
someone-
bit interesting, but the daily contact person, that's replacing Tracy Whipple is someone who does have 20+ years experience with government banking.
Yeah.
Probably different compared to our main account rep now, who is really more of a loan or funding
yeah,
contact
yeah,
type
it doesn't have
person.
the understanding, the background.
So Chuck, will you handle this? Will you work with Kathy or is that?
so reach out to the rep and just,
Thank you.
Yeah,
seems like a simple.
Yeah.
So it should be a simple
it should,
solution.
that's what I thought, but obviously it hasn't been, but anyway, that's pretty much it. I do hope I see some of you tomorrow. Would be nice. Thank you.
Thanks. Allison?
For the board, we have 3 MOUs that I gave you copies of. Those are the hospital, what do you call it, hospital?
Hospital details.
Detail. It expires on the 30th of June. We want to get ahead of it. The rate has changed a little bit. It was $63.50.
6305,
And
or in the case of
yeah.
deputies, or the detail rate if it's higher.
So it'll be 66, and I'd like permission from the board to go ahead and reach out to the union reps to get those signed off, so it can come back to the board for next week is my hope. So then we'll be in line for July 1, there won't be any retros and stuff like that.
We had the draft, you have the original.
Those are it's just the changes of the dates and the amounts of money. They're exactly the same from
Same.
last year, that's all that's changed in there.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I have no problem because the rate just increased slightly.
Is that? We have some late submissions to our open enrollment, so we'll bring that forward at the board meeting next week.
Allison, can you tell us how did we do overall?
We did pretty good. I think we had, 6 people maybe?
That,
If
yeah,
that.
very low.
Very low, very low. So we are very happy about that, but we do have some submissions that we'll discuss. We are in the process now, payroll and Chuck did the audit of the master Excel spreadsheet for PCNs with all of the movement of wage adjustments and COLAs and everything else. We are now processing the PCNs. My plan is to give it to the OBDs on Tuesday if I can. If they're all done, you will hold them in place and not disperse them until the 18th because we have to wait to the delegation budget. And then they are not going to the HRFO file because we're using an Excel spreadsheet to upload that information. You're just going to get it back to Human Resources. We have to get it in, do the data entry, but please don't batch them. As people are signing them, if you could just get them over to us so we can start doing the data entry of that, and then we can release and say, Allison is done, Julie is done, and they can start doing their stuff. So that's on the PCN, so we're excited about that. We're in the middle of open enrollment audit, so there's a lot going on with that as well. So we hope to have all that set and finished.
Can I interrupt you for a second? Open enrollment, how many did not?
We said about 5 or 6, but I'll have the numbers next week. So it was a lot of calls, a lot of emails, a lot of ODD pressure, and thank you for taking my emails, even though I might have emailed you 20 times, but I thank you so much. It was a good help for all to get it done. We want to see everybody get it done, but there are those that omitted doing some stuff or responding, and so those will be brought forward. We are working on the Stella contract, which is the ancillary piece of the our overall benefits. While we have a July 1 start date with that, I worked with Primex and legal. Julie and I then went through the contract, had comments and stuff like that. I provided it to Kate because I asked her to look at it because there's some comments that would be related just to the commissioners. So I did speak with Gallagher yesterday, and we can push that to an August 1 date. And I think that would be in the best interest of the county to have that maybe if we can go forward with it. We may determine not, but it will give us the breathing room to really make sure that that contract is the way the commissioners need to see it. So that's that. I'm sorry, there's so much stuff. There's 2 contracts that are coming that will go before the delegation, the cost items. I am going to seek permission to release those 2 contracts to the 2 union reps so that they can sign it ahead of time, and I can have them in hand on the 17th. And as it is approved, I can have the commissioners sign it potentially because then I'll be out and I'd like to have them scanned in, and I have to send them off to the PLRB, upload them into their system, and there's requirements for that. So hopefully I'll get that done, and I think I have said everything I need to. Thank you. This is our busiest time of year. We can say, Julie? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
I agree. Julie, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I've got nothing. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be shorter than. Okay.
Mark this day.
Mark the day in your calendars. It's the new eclipse. Okay, so assisted living is at 49. The nursing home is at 141. I have no numbers for outbreak. For yesterday, myself and some of my team went to the New Hampshire Healthcare's conference, which was really great. I'm going to be connecting with Madison because they changed CMP monies, how you can access it. So for one of the grants we didn't get for the, I'm not gonna remember the name, but you always get it. For dementia, for what we wanted to do, there's a potential we'd be able to access it through that. So it's already written, so I'm very excited. Otherwise, we've just been very busy, and I just want to make a plug that Tuesday is the parent-student info night. If anyone is interested for the Healthcare Academy at Rockingham, so we're really excited, hoping to be able to have a good turnout, explain the program, and be able to explain it to both students and parents, do the interviews, and that would start on July 7th, and it is open to.
Ice cream truck there?
Not on that date, but Allison was kind enough to make sure there was a crossover.
It will be there on one of the days.
It will,
Sorry.
crossover in one way, but I'm really excited. It's a lot of behind the scenes work going into the program. We're meeting again this afternoon to kind of get it all together in a short time frame. My team's working really hard on kind of the day-to-day and what it is, but I think it's a really wonderful opportunity for individuals in high school to be exposed to healthcare, and it's not just being an LNA or a nurse, or I can assure you, I'm not, don't make the beds right, I was told. But there's so many opportunities, and this will give the opportunity, and Jude's team was kind enough, so we're gonna do a scavenger hunt. Allison had an idea of doing a scavenger hunt to different personnel, and Jude's gonna have someone from her team be there as well, because there's kind of overlap and someone from HR to kind of cover the whole piece within nursing home. So I'm very excited. I think it'll be fun. My team's worked very hard around it and is still working on it. But if you know anyone, share it, the flyer, we emailed it to you, please post it.
That's this Tuesday, June 16th.
Yep.
What
At the
time?
nursing home, starts at, no,
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
6 to 8 for anyone
I
watching.
know. Maybe question it.
Really,
Very
Chantel,
exciting.
for your team as well as the collaboration, this is like, the turnaround time on this thing has been so fast. And you guys, it sounds like the team has done a just outstanding job getting boots on the ground and getting this thing all set up, because it's a great opportunity. It's gonna be, you know, I mean, talk about multi-level community give back in our county, because it helps students who might want to pursue the field or just get exposure. It's like so great to have the intermingling of students and younger people with our residents, just that multi-generational aspect. It's, you know, everyone's a winner.
It's wonderful. And if I can interject, I just want to say, Madison has been wonderful through this entire process. And between her and Autumn, I think, respectfully, Allison, not to throw it, the two of them, I think, are the only reason we got it done timely, because the amount of times they like made sure Allison and I got to the table in the hecticness of it. And like truly the amount of legwork that the two of them did. I truly just wanted to acknowledge them because they deserve it.
Thank you for interjecting this. Major.
Just to follow up on Kathy's, I had already reached out to Jude, and we plan on doing a little walking and discussing some of the signage for traffic control, because we've been having some issues as well. In particular, traffic that's going to the right side of the building. By the time they get to the sign that says they're not authorized to be up there, they've already passed the last entrance into the visitor lot. In particular, we had somebody that had no business driving out there the other day that almost hit the deputy working the canine and exercising him in the back area, because I think they realized they weren't supposed to be there and tried to kind of, oh, we got to get out of here, and we're driving too fast through the back, and almost struck them. But we're just looking for some options to just restrict the access, because obviously we want, that was designed to be for employee parking for county attorneys and the deeds. We have obviously ours is open to the parking for the sheriff's office side, so there's public parking over there as well. And then we only restrict the access back to where the sheriff's parking is. But if we can just figure out a way to be a little bit better with the signage and clear, so that hopefully before they get to the point of no return, they actually have a turnoff.
There is a in our garage, there's a visitor sign, isn't it, visitor parking sign? An extra one that's inside there.
I'm sure Jude has
We'll
plenty
get
of.
it taken.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a walk after the meeting, unless you don't like the heat.
No, whatever.
I'm into it, so, yeah.
I'm not really built for the humidity, but I'll talk about it for you, Jude.
Aaron, do you have anything? Sheriff?
Nope, just continue to be busy. It's summertime, so thank you.
Thanks. Major?
So our account's down just a little bit from this weekend's high of 228. It's 219 right now, but we're going into the weekend. So probably see high numbers by next week.
By 4th of July is just around the corner. We know what that spike is like.
We're doing well with hiring, down 7 still, but we got 3 in line and a good pool behind that. So could be finishing that up soon, hopefully. We had sergeant's boards that went really good. We had 3 good candidates. Corporal Nicholas Lampro, he came out on top. So he's getting promoted sergeant on 3rd shift. And with that move, we had a corporal left over from the last corporal board, who is number 3. So he's Officer Rackett. He's moving on to corporal on 3rd shift as well.
Oh, great.
So,
It's nice succession. That's great.
Officer Rackett, did you say?
yeah.
Some of the names, I saw an Officer Boston, an Officer Atkinson, and I mean, the names, you know, when you look at.
We got Corporal Alton.
Yeah, yeah,
We have inmate Tom Colorado.
matter of time. No, I saw a lot, yeah, I'm gonna be here for a long time.
All right, Jude.
Good afternoon. I have a few items. All is well. First of all, we are also very busy. The guys have been especially challenged this week in all of the buildings between the pollen in the air handling units is just phenomenal. Drop a filter and it goes, it's been wicked bad. Filters and heat. So it's been a real challenge, but so far so good. The jail looks good. All the resident areas look really good. We had a short issue in HR, but I believe it was addressed. So residents first. So yeah, we're getting there. We're working on it. We're replacing the ramp over at the Conservation District. It was a safety issue, so there's a lot of carpentry work happening over there. In this building, the Lula is in the final stages of completion. We will be adding a card reader to the door so that we're not infringing on the security of the amphitheater. So we'll be working on that. I'll work with Layla on that. Let's see what else. Generating in the final stages. Revision is interested in coming out to meet with us, Commissioner Godu, next Wednesday. I told him the meeting was moved to Wednesday. He can do 12:30, 1 o'clock. I don't know if it's just the commissioner or if you want to post it and everybody can be there as you like it. He's going to be reviewing the information that we had from Eversource. And at the public hearing, I think it was the public hearing, we were asked about Revision Eversource told a couple of the reps, Doug Thomas and Representative Rose, that they were waiting for us. So I had told her, I know.
Oh my God.
But I had told the women that we want to make sure that we're, ready for the conversation, and our guy was out of the country, I think, for a couple of weeks. So if we could pick that up next Wednesday, whoever wants to be there, let me know. Your meeting is at 3 o'clock because of the budget meeting, so however you want to handle that. And then a conversation for the future, if we could. I've had a couple of inquiries from employees about access to the patio. I know that Kathy had some issues about it, but we have employees that would like to be able to get up there during the day, on the weekend if it's dispatch, anything.
I don't want anybody up on that floor. I have cash money up there when the place is closed. When they have free access to everything in my office.
That was the part I wasn't clear on. That was why I thought I should bring it
had
up.
this conversation with Chris about that.
So there's no secure, your offices aren't secure?
You can get in and out of everything. You can access my computers, you can access everything on that floor.
Maybe we should.
The lockbox
took
is
down the
put
wall,
away,
right?
but everything else, the thing is, I don't know these people. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know who these people are. So my concern is if something happens to the computer system or anything like that, if people are wandering around, and that's my biggest concern.
I think we should I feel like the dispatchers, especially because the job is so challenging, that if they take a break and want outdoor space, it seems important. We should.
I'm just talking about at night and on the weekend. During the day, everybody's welcome. We have plenty of people come up there from the other departments. I told Chris that. We open the door for them. Help yourself. Problem is right now, those tables, you don't even want to sit on because they're metal and they are so hot.
And we have to buy new umbrellas in July 1st.
Yeah, I just bought 2.
Okay.
I have to have my staff. They want to use it.
Make sure you fold them down during.
Yeah, they will be.
Because we had
We know how to use
issues
them.
up
Yeah.
there.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
We should, maybe we can take a walk and see, because it would be nice to give individuals, especially that are here on the weekend, to have some access to some outdoor.
So
space.
it's not during the week, it's just the weekend.
Oh, no,
Dispatcher.
I think
During the day, anybody can use that patio.
But we don't have the card reader set up that way. It's a programming issue if that's what we're gonna be doing. It's a programming issue. And I know that a lot of the inquiries have come from the Sheriff's Department. And I just don't feel like it's a decision that I should be making. That's why I wanted to bring the conversation forward to the board.
Yeah.
So the
I
weekend, the
absolutely know your
dispatchers
feelings,
could
that's
have
why I
had
wanted you to have. a
Yeah, I
chance
mean,
to
the
hear
dispatchers have all expressed, even on the later shifts, have expressed that they would like to be able to do it. I understand Kathy's security concerns, and I knew Jude was gonna be bringing this up, before the board. Obviously, with our personnel, you know, if we get, I don't know what the camera said, what the camera, I think you guys have one camera
There's
up
no
there.
camera there.
Or what have used. I mean, obviously, we would tell our personnel that if you're going up after hours, you go out to the patio, you're not wandering around the registry of deeds. And if they were found to have done that, they would obviously be reprimanded and held accountable for that because they shouldn't be wandering in that space. But I absolutely understand Kathy's concerns with if she does
Because
things that
we
are
won't know.
unsecured.
We don't
But
Well, I mean, we're
I
just
hope- I
trying
hope-
to,
I hope-
if
I hope
you're
doesn't
saying,
Yeah.
you don't, if you, I mean, like, if you're saying you understand her concerns and it's not an issue for you guys, then we'll just, you know, you're saying.
No, I'm
You
just
can see
saying
here,
that the
you can
employees
just
would
not-
like to have access to it.
Well, I mean,
but
you're-
Solution to camera?
But if you're
the
saying,
elevators, if we could add a camera.
well,
theoretically,
camera.
are you
sure.
advocating for access or not?
I'm advocating that, on behalf of the dispatchers, I would say, yes, I'm advocating for access, but I recognize what Kathy's apprehension is, with her.
So-
We had a camera.
What's your
We can
solution?
add a camera, there's cameras in the elevators.
I mean, I know
There's no camera
we
on the
would
floor.
order our
We're like,
employees that if
yeah,
you're gonna
just a
use it,
middle
you don't
area.
go
Right,
wandering
right,
around the
right.
space. And if they were found to violate that, they would be held accountable for it.
You can't, you'd have to put cameras in there.
Yeah, but you'd need a camera to track that, because if
Yeah.
something did happen, you'd have to be able to like, okay, we need to find out who entered this space.
Right.
Can I ask a question? Are the cameras in the elevators operational right now?
Yes. Yep,
Yeah,
they're
so you know who's
operational, they're
going up.
recorded.
I mean, with key card access, you're gonna know who accessed the
Yeah.
area.
Right.
So what's
It's gonna tell you who was in there, that, okay, something happened, so we're obviously gonna do an investigation. If something nefarious happened, we would interview and investigate.
But I still want cameras because the bottom line is I'm responsible for what happens on that floor. Nobody else, not the commissioners, me, right? So the bottom line is, in that open space where the recording area is, the copy area, all that place, which is easily accessible by anybody after hours, because they just gotta go through the push gate, there needs to be a camera in there. There needs to be a camera in there.
We can get a camera.
Yeah, we need to get a
If
camera.
that's the wish, we can take care of it, for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, that.
Kathy, would you
definitely-
feel comfortable, would you feel comfortable if there were cameras in there? That they could go up there and use that?
Oh, yeah, I mean, my thing is, it's supposed to be for
No, no, no,
everybody, but,
no,
I never thought about after hours, because the other issue is, well, what do? Shut it down so that they just use this to
They
get
have
up?
to use it, yes,
Yeah.
and that's only.
Yeah, because the
employees.
elevators are locked down.
It's employees only.
Yeah.
Right.
So that would be the first clue. We could run an access report and see who went through the reader. We've got
Yeah.
people in the elevators, we could add a couple more cameras.
And the
yes.
reader for outside, because they have to
That's
use the
right,
pass
yeah,
cards for the
reader,
reader to get
yeah.
outside.
Are you good with that?
Yeah, but I want cameras in that open area. I want cameras in that open
I'll
area.
get it taken care of.
It-
That would
it-
be,
it all falls
that would
on
be
me.
easy, that would be easier for us too, to track if something happened.
Yeah.
You
The whole thing stems from a wall was taken down, right?
Yeah, that broke the security in
Yeah.
the back,
Yes.
So
And the wall got removed, you're right.
that sounds simple, cameras and.
And we're talking about
It'll
our
be simple.
dispatchers, we're not talking about
We're
really
talking about all
strangers
of our
coming up.
employees, to be true.
Yeah.
All of our employees.
Everyone
But
should have
Steve, if you think that we haven't had employees that done stuff around this county, you are mistaken. You are mistaken, sir.
Well, I'm just thinking of all of our employees, the
Just
law,
saying.
ones involved in law enforcement
Just
should
saying.
be most reputable.
All right.
Jude, do you have anything else to
No,
share?
that was it. Thank you.
Okay,
Oh,
thank, well, yeah,
Are we
please.
okay for revision? Do you want me to confirm it with
I
him?
think that's great. I have mental
That's
health
fine.
clinics, but,
Oh, yeah, I put it in my calendar.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll send
I will
him,
not
I'll
be-
send
Yeah,
him
the
a-
18th,
Yes, sir. No, the 17th.
17th,
It's a Wednesday, the 17th at
17th.
2:00, right?
I got it. And then our meeting is
1
at 3
o'clock.
o'clock
I
that
think
day.
Yes.
our meeting's at 3. It sounds like the revision meeting will happen
It'll be
at 1.
before, yeah.
Yes, and then we'll have a break in between. I'll send you an Outlook invitation when I get a confirmation from him. Thank you. Should I send it to, I'll send it to you. Thank you very much, that's all.
Thank you so much. Chuck?
As usual, budget grants, audits, as far as budget goes, there's going to be an executive committee meeting half an hour before the convention meeting for next Wednesday. So we do have 4 line transfers, they'll be there. for that portion of the meetings. And again, a reminder, 6 p.m. convention meeting starts in the auditorium. As far as grants go, the registration with Payment Works platform that UNH, University System in New Hampshire uses for any of their vendors, including if you're a grant vendor. So we did have our registration approved, so we're all set for any RHT grants that might get approved. So we're all set there. Thank you for work by Kathy and maybe Becky too, as far as on loose plate grant narrative. So that's narrative is being finalized for the 26-27 year, and that'll be on requested to be on next week's BOC agenda for approval. So moving forward on that. On the single audit side, the auditors are going to restate the 2022 single audit to remove any question costs in the rental assistance program. We had some follow-up on those because if you might remember, Uncork had promised we'd have a full export, including all attachments. That didn't happen, so the auditors tried to cite that there were question costs where obviously they weren't. Because I mean, we went through like a 16 point checklist before any claim even got paid. And so we were able to gather up other support and proof by other means. So they're going to reissue their 2022 opinion.
Fantastic.
So
Thank you for those efforts to follow. I mean, this is like.
Yeah, again, if the auditors just did their audit timely, they would have been inside logging into Uncork and having all this data. On grants today, there's a quick CDFA webinar related to the RHT, Rural Health Transformation Grant Program. So I'll be getting on that this afternoon. Some of us saw about next Thursday, there's a webinar about the youth program, RHT grant that the University System of New Hampshire is putting on as well. So some individuals have signed up for that. So, and we're looking forward to when CDFA officially puts out their first RFP, because then we're working on that, LTC and June.
And June and I have already met.
Yeah, so that way we'll be
This one
ready.
requires way less from me and more from Jude's team than the current one does. So.
Because renovations can be, we can utilize or apply through the CDFA hub for renovations.
Oh, great.
It's a long-term care facility, so there's definitely an opportunity for Driscoll ground, Driscoll first floor, so.
Maybe even a little bit up on just to looking at those cabinets. We're gonna put it in there too.
Yeah. I think as long as we're not tearing the walls and things like that,
Right.
Looking to update mechanical,
Renovation.
electrical,
They're all renovations.
it's a true renovation.
It is.
Right.
So.
Perfect.
That's great. Yeah, really great. That's
Yeah, so
exciting.
I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully any day now that RFP will
Come on.
go out.
Yeah.
I'm already signed up and so is Madison for any RFP that comes through the Go North
Yeah.
site, so we'll be
Good. It should
notified
be
right
pushed
away.
through, yeah.
And just one last thing on payroll. Next week's payroll, please be mindful that it's the pay date is not the Friday because that's a federal holiday. It's the Thursday. So please, 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 even through this week, look at the time cards, review things, address things as soon as you can, because Tuesday evening is the deadline for us to get that direct deposit file to TD.
When do you want it for those? You have another.
The normal deadline, but even more so trying to hold to those deadlines because we have less time to push it through to TD, so. And that's all I've got, sorry.
Thank you, Chad. Leila?
Hi.
Hi.
It's already been mentioned a couple times, but next week's meeting is Wednesday at 3. So agenda submissions are due tomorrow by 10 a.m. Please.
Great. All right. Next we have new business, old business. Okay.
I have
Go ahead.
a couple things to discuss. I'm too concerned about the signage, and I have a specific proposal. And just for your consideration, are you gonna walk around? But the sign that is at the top of the driveway, the arrows are going in the wrong direction. And that's part of why I think we're having this problem. It's directing people for the registry of deeds, the county attorney and county commissioners all to the right. And it really should be, in my opinion, directing everybody straight ahead, because the door that they're gonna go in to visit any of those entities is straight ahead. So I just pass this around, take a look. If you agree, disagree, or have another idea, and that's the sign at the very top of the driveway is, I figured that was a fairly simple fix. The other thing that I'm proposing with that is that we get 2 additional pole signs. There's a visitor parking sign as you come up the driveway, but just after the entrance to that visitor parking, I think there should be a sign at that spot directing people that, you know, before the driveway, so they've seen it twice, because obviously they're missing it. And another one to do the exact same thing, after you get to the top of the driveway and you take a right and you're starting to head towards staff parking, there should be another sign on a pole that says, take a right, this is the visitor parking lot. Now, I mean, the exact words and how it should say, but I think those 2 extra signs and fixing the sign at the top of the building, I think will solve the problem, or at least certainly, but I don't know, you're gonna walk through today and maybe.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna look at potentially adding a few more restricted access, authorized entry only kind of things. The major had asked about that a while ago because of.
First Amendment auditors.
Thank you. So we're gonna add a
They'll
couple.
be back.
So we may think about adding a couple more of those as well, perhaps something in front of the gate, so that if someone does try getting out as far as the gate, we'll look at it, we can take a look.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you very much, Commissioner, I appreciate it.
And the other item that I would like to bring up is that we should have a discussion about the restrictions on the auditorium. And I don't know if you want to have that today, or,
I think we
and the
talked
restriction about the food.
I think we talked about putting that on next week.
Okay, good. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
All right, any other
I don't have
new business, old business? All right, with that, public comment, I don't see anyone from the public, but, okay, we'll move right into non-public session.
Make a motion.
Have a great day, everybody.
Non-public session for New Hampshire RSA 91-8:3, 2A personnel.
Second.
On the motion, Commissioner
Yes.
Tombrello.
Yes.
Commissioner Godu.
Yes.
And I vote yes.
And now to enjoy
I'll be
this.
right.
It's now afternoon, everyone. We're out of non-public session, and we had 3 non-public sessions, and I turn the floor to Commissioner Tombrello to make a motion relative to those 3 non-public sessions.
On the 3 items, I'll be making a motion to seal them, and definitely due to the fact that it could affect adversely the reputation of a person other than a member of the board, and I'll make that by motion to seal those.
Second. Indefinitely, I assume you mean.
So as amended, on the second, Commissioner Godu.
Yes.
Commissioner Tombrello.
Yes.
And I vote yes. One more motion, Commissioner Tombrello.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. We're adjourned. Have a nice, enjoy the warm weather, everyone.